heading to the checkered flag, and an easy win for Crystal Ross. And Isabel Deal in second across the line. So she'll be hoping that her time holds up. And I do believe that it was Quijano who finished third, so she has an outside chance of moving into the finals as well, depending on how the other heats shake out in terms of time. So heat number 2 on the starting line now. As we mentioned before, Grace Meyer, Alexis Offner, December Nanaito, Avery Freeman, Mia Campbell, Lainey Stevens, and Kyla Lawson. As Meyer and Offner are our top 2 qualifiers from the time trial. We'll see what they are ready to do for us here in heat number 2. Skaters once again holding at the starting line. Waiting once again for the officials to let them go. So still working through some issues down there at the starting line. But of course, all of this leading to the Xfinity Race of Champions Saturday night, the main event of this competition every year. So I hope you'll tune in for that. Starts at approximately 6 o'clock Mountain Time with the parade of teams and the best of the best competing for $10,000 in the Xfinity Race of Champions. Top 4 placements as we are now set to go in that rookie 10 to 13-year-old girls heat number 2. More on the Xfinity Race of Champions later, because right now Grace Meyer is quick off the line. An early lead for Meyer. Offner giving chase along with Avery Freeman from the Stallions, was in third through that first couple laps, pursued closely by Nana Ito. But it is Meyer and Offner out in front. They are running 1 and 2 here in the early going. Comfortable pace for both of those young ladies. Meyer leading the way, Offner tucked in right behind. They've got about half a second or so on Freeman, who is running in third, chased by Nana Ito and Lainey Stevens, currently running in 5th. But the race is at the front, as we see our top 2 qualifiers in this heat continuing to pull away ever so slightly. Just a few feet each lap goes Meyer and Offner. Nana Ito now in third, trying to come up and make contact through the middle portion of the race. Meyer and Offner letting Nana Ito back in it as they overtake Kyla Lawson on the outside. But Nana Ito now with a chance to have something to say about this one. 3 laps to go. The top 3 bunched up tight together. Now Meyer starting to push the pace again. Offner able to match the move. Nana Ito hanging in there as well. So a nice effort from the Star Skate Club racer. And now here we go. Offner, Alexis Offner with the nifty step to the inside. 1 lap to go for the leaders. Final lap, Offner and Meyer running 1 and 2. And they're going right to the finish. And it is Alexis Offner who's going to get the heat win. Grace Meyer finishing second, and her time likely to hold up and get her into the final. Nana Ito in third, and the rest of the field finishing up as well. As you see, take a look at our final times and standings. And we get ready for heat number 3 as they head to the line. Heat number 3, Clover Fazzini, Ava Butler, Penelope Viviano, Diana Ganasan Rajaram, Alexis Turlow, Seneca Skogrand, and Kai Reed. So Fazzini and Butler separated by just a couple of hundredths of a second in terms of their time trial time, so that should be a good race between the two of them. Butler from Phantom Racing and Fazzini from Team United. As the official gives some final instructions. And heat number 3, a clean start, and quickly off the line was Ganasan Rajaram. And she gave the lead up to Fazzini quickly. So Clover Fazzini out in front, chased by Rajaram and Viviano. So Butler running fourth, a bad start for her. She's got some work to do here over the last 8 laps of this race. So still early, and there goes Butler up into third. So Fazzini has led wire to wire. Rajaram right behind her. Butler trying to get back into the mix. And now Rajaram wide around the turn. Looked like she was going for the outside pass. Didn't quite get around. Swung just a little too wide. As Fazzini continues to lead, we're halfway through. It is Fazzini, then Rajaram, followed by Butler, as Kai Reed moves to the outside and lets the leaders by. Fazzini still in front. Rajaram tucked right in behind Butler, still trying to close the gap. She is running out of real estate. And Rajaram again trying to make the outside move, can't get around Fazzini. And Butler has fallen off the pace here late, so it is going to be Fazzini and Rajaram, 1 and 2. And there's the bell for Fazzini, Fazzini and Rajaram. Now Rajaram, she's trying again, continuing to try those wide outside moves, can't get around. Last chance for Rajaram, and she is not going to get it done. Clover Fazzini, your Heat 3 winner, but Diana Ganasan Rajaram finishing second and looking very likely to get to the final. So that concludes the 10 to 13-year-old girls 1,000 meter qualifying heats. All right, so up next are 6 to 9 girls. Qualifying heats here in the Rookie Challenge. We got 2 heats of 6 to 9 girls. The 6 to 9-year-old age group skates a 700-meter race for their long distance. Heat number 1 on the line right now, Janiyah Washington of the Stallions leading the way as the top qualifier in the time trial for 6 to 9-year-old girls. She is joined by Addison Hill of Tennessee Speed, Zoe Rivera, her Stallions teammate, Anastasia Chesney from those Owasso Flyers out of Oklahoma, and Kimberlyn Scott racing for the Cobras out of Evansville, Indiana. So the first Cobra that we have seen now on the starting line. And you can see some discussion down there with our timers and officials. And we are ready to go here, heat number 1. And we have a false start. All right, after the false start, we have a clean start here on start number 2, Janiyah Washington. Quickly out in front, way out in front goes Washington. Zoe Rivera is in second, followed by Addison Hill, but it is all Janiyah Washington here in the early going of this 7-lap race. And Washington leaving no doubt about this one. She's just past halfway, a good couple of seconds on her closest rival teammate Zoe Rivera, who herself has got a second or two on Addison Hill. So the Stallions running 1-2, and in front is that young lady there, Janiyah Washington. And there's the bell for Washington. Rivera has actually closed the gap here a little bit in the late stages, but I don't think she's going to have enough to challenge Washington for the win and the automatic spot in the finals. And there you have it, Washington and Rivera. So Janiyah Washington is through. Rivera in second. Addison Hill coming in third. Total time of 1:37.2. She's got an outside chance of qualifying through. See if that time holds up. Anastasia Chesney and Kimberlyn Scott rounding things out here in heat number 1. As up next is going to be heat number 2. Savannah Hubbard from Smoky Mountain Speed out of Maryville, Tennessee. She leads the way, came in with a just over 15-second time trial. She's joined by Isabella Gaddy from Positive Impact out of Milton, Florida. Leah Hoagland of the Stallions, Alexandria Chesney of those Owasso Flyers, and Coraline Largy from the local Stallion squad. Heat number 2 6 to 9-year-old girls 700-meter rookie challenge now on the line. And a clean start, first try out, and Leah Hoagland jumping out to the early lead. Isabella Gatti right behind her. And Hubbard, top qualifier here in heat number 2, running in third, so she's got some work to do. Not an ideal start for Hubbard, as Gatti now shifts into another gear here early on in the race. Gatti in control. She is running away with this one. Still 4 laps remaining. Gatti out in front. Hubbard now has worked her way back into second, so she's still got some work to do, does Savannah Hubbard. And down goes Hoagland, but out in front, Gatti still moving right along. Hubbard slowly closing that gap. Each lap she gets a little bit closer to Isabella Gatti. Couple of laps remaining, and Hubbard now making contact with the leader. So it is Gatti and Hubbard. As they go around Coraline Largy, and Hubbard has completed the comeback after the slow start. She now is in the lead. Gatti off to the fast start, but not enough in the tank to finish the race, as Savannah Hubbard now building a big lead herself here in the late stages. And it is Savannah Hubbard who's going to take the checkered flag there. Isabella Gatti in second. So you can see Hubbard with the automatic qualifier as the winner of the heat. Isabella Gatti's 142.2. Looks very good to get in. And Alexandria Chesney able to come in third. You see there, after Hoagland went down in the middle portions of the race, it is Chesney who comes in third with the 148. And that might be good enough to sneak Alexandria into the final as well. So up next, it is our 6 to 9-year-old boys rookie challenge competitors. 2 heats here in this one. 6 to 9-year-old boys also skating that 700-meter distance. Heat number 1 led by our top qualifier, Jace Mendoza, out of SSII Racing in Canton, Michigan. So Mendoza is joined by Clayton Gluck of the Stallions, Joseph Stevens from Team United out of Kansas, another Stallions racer, Ryan Ferris, Isaiah Vigil from Front Range Speed Team, coming down I-25 from Cheyenne, Wyoming. The Front Range racer rounds out heat number 1. So 7 laps for these 5 gentlemen. And we got a false start here on try number 1. We'll wait to see the official call and who that is going to be on. And another false start, that time an easy call, number 43, Isaiah Vigil. So the Front Range racer from Cheyenne, Wyoming, a little too eager here on the long distance. And a clean start this time, and you can see Vigil very slow off the line as he was being careful not to get another false start. Not slow off the line was Jace Mendoza. So Mendoza, after just a lap and a half, a huge lead built up over the next closest racers at Stevens and Ferris, who are running 2 and 3. But my goodness, Jace Mendoza looked like he was shot out of a cannon off the line, and he is not let up since halfway through, and he's already overtaking competitors. There he goes around V-Hill. Mendoza in complete control of this one. And the race for second, very tight though, as Ferris and Stevens. I'm sorry, that's Glover and Stevens. So Glover and Stevens running 2 and 3 as we check back in with our leader, Mendoza. And you see there's Mendoza. He passes Clayton Glover, who was just trying to get up after a tough fall as he was in a tight one, a race for second. He has now fallen way off of the pace as Mendoza gets the easy win. A dominating performance from Jace Mendoza, and it does look like it's going to be Joseph Stevens who's going to come around and take second, a distant second, a full 12 seconds, almost a full lap's worth of time. Off the pace was Joseph Stevens. So Jace Mendoza here in his first race. As we take a look at the leaderboard, you see Mendoza in there with the 118. Stevens coming in with the 130. Clayton Glover, after that hard fall, a respectable 138. So we'll see if he has enough speed, despite the fall, to sneak into the championship round. All going to depend on what happens here in heat number 2 as they head to the line. Luca DeFalco from Starskate Speed, Lucas Teague from Smoky Mountain, Owen Booth from the Stallions, Darren McDonald from Smoky Mountain again, and then Kurt goes by Lex Culver, the man from Cheyenne with Front Range Racing. So DeFalco, Teague, Booth, McDonald, Culver are going to contest heat number 2 here for our 6 to 9-year-old boys Rookie Challenge 700-meter qualifier. Take a second again to remind you, the Xfinity Race of Champions pits the best of the best Saturday night, approximately 6 p.m. Mountain Time is when we will start. And that's going to pit the 4 best skaters from the 14 to 16-year-old individual age group, the top 4 from 17 to 19, the top 4 from 20 to 29, and the top 3 from the 30 and older individual age group divisions. So the very best 15 racers get to compete for the big money in the Race of Champions. But right now, it's our Rookie Challenge. As we see a false start there. So we'll try it again here. Heat number 2. Second start is clean, and out in front is DeFalco. So DeFalco in first off the line. Next up is Owen Booth. As you see there, he's passed now by Teague. So it's DeFalco and Teague and Booth. So qualifying, holding to form here in the early stages of this one as DeFalco. Teague now making a move. Teague to the inside. He's going to get there. Lucas Teague from Smoky Mountain now in front. We're past the halfway point. Teague, DeFalco running 1 and 2. DeFalco with the fast start. Teague has been turning it on in the later stages. Just a little bit of a lead. We'll see if DeFalco has an answer. Doesn't look like he's going to, but he still has a couple of laps to try to mount some sort of charge. Lucas Teague in front. And there's the bell for Teague, and DeFalco giving more and more ground here during the second half of the race. So once Teague made the move, he did not look back. You see there he goes now, overtaking his teammate McDonald, and it is Lucas Teague who is your Heat 2 winner. And DeFalco coming in second, Booth third. So Teague's time of 1:23, very good. And DeFalco also very quick, 1:26. And Owen Booth, the hometown Stallions racer, with a 1:30. I think his time's going to hold up and get him into the final, as well as McDonald and Culver round things out. So we're gonna, as you can see here, we've got a brief warm-up for our next event. It is our 10 to 13-year-old boys. They've got 2 heats in their 10-lap 1,000-meter race. We'll bring that to you live on rollerplanet.net here in just a moment.
Sit and drive our feet out. Let them vacation back in.
1, bend your knees. 2, from here. I'm going to be talking about moonwalk.
Give a little demonstration.
Slap shot. Backhand. Snap shot. If you want to be the best skater you can be, is to find the perfect place for you to find that push.
And welcome back. Quick little warm-up for our 10 to 13-year-old boys is done. Heat number 1 on the line. Heat number 1. Nicholas Romnek, Parker Giles, Cooper Jackson, Colin Hill, Gianni Ray, and David Tinsley. As we have a false start called. So we will reset card goes to number 128, Gianni Ray. So the Cobras racer a little too excited to get going. And another false start. That one looked like it might have been on the inside. Gage Butler of Phantom Racing. And third time off the line and another false start. So these boys are very excited to be here, competing in the Rookie Challenge. And we are struggling to get this one started clean, as it is our third false start. This one out there on the outside. Cooper Jackson possibly. So we'll try one more time, fourth time. And we got a clean start this time, and it's Tinsley out in front. David Tinsley out in front. Gianni Ray giving chase. Tinsley and Ray running 1 and 2. Colin Hill holding the third spot, but the race is at the front between Tinsley and Ray. 1 quarter gone. As we near the midway point in the race here, Tinsley really stretching it out as Gianni Ray has fallen off the pace, and in fact he's getting passed, or almost was passed by Colin Hill, as we still see so Tinsley in control of this one as he moves inside and around Nicholas Romnek. Tinsley in control. Now leading the race for second is his teammate Colin Hill, but it's a distant second, almost half a lap back of the leader, David Tinsley. With 3 laps to go, and he is cruising to a win. Tinsley, a dominating performance here from him. As he heads for the bell, there's the bell for Tinsley. So David Tinsley turning it up, putting an exclamation point on this performance, having to weave around through his competitors, and a big stand-up win for David Tinsley. And a tight one there for second as Ray came back, and it is Gianni Ray who wins by 3/100ths of a second over Colin Hill. So Ray posts the 1:57.015. Hill just behind. Both of those scores, as you can see there, how close that race was. Both of those times possibly going to be good enough to get them through to the championship round. And up next, we're going to have heat number 2 in this division. This one featuring Hunter Wright of Texas Speed Club, Jake Taylor from the Stallions, Christian Allenbaugh from Infinity Racing, Sawyer Smith from the Stallions, Brom Culver from Elijah Tamayo for the Stallions, and Owen Bryant. So 4 Stallions racing here in heat number 2. Hunter Wright, number 2 qualifier overall, and the lead qualifier here in heat number 2, posted just over seconds on the lap. So we'll look to see what he can do for us. We'll also look to see if this group of gentlemen are able to get the race started in fewer than 4 tries. After this race, we're going to move to our rookie 30 and above men's long race qualifiers as the racers are set to take their mark. And indeed, the first start is clean. Out in front goes Wright. So Hunter Wright out in front, followed by Taylor. Wright, then Taylor. Allenbaugh running in third, and right there as well is Brom Culver. So 4 in a tight group at the front here. Just a couple of laps into this one. It is Wright. Now here goes Taylor. Jake Taylor taking the lead. So Taylor now running just ahead of Wright. Allenbaugh there as well. And Culver now starting to drift off the back. So Culver trying to stay in contact with the leaders. Taylor setting a fast pace. Hunter Wright and Christian Allenbaugh up to the task of matching him step for step, but Brom Culver now falling off as we've reached the halfway point here in this one. 5 laps in, it is Taylor, then Wright, then Allenbaugh, 3 together, setting up for a really nice finish unless someone can make a move here in the second half of the race and get some distance on the challengers. Taylor looked like he's trying to do. Now here goes Allenbaugh. Allenbaugh moving up into second position, so a nice inside step from Allenbaugh as he gets past Wright. Taylor, a big size advantage for Taylor there in front. He's going to be tough to get around for Christian Allenbaugh. And there goes Wright back into second. Oh, a little bit of a stumble there, and there's the bell. So Taylor, and now Allenbaugh back into second for Wright. Wright now working on the inside. Wright back into second. Taylor, the final turn, stumbles there. Taylor lost the momentum, and it's Wright, then Allenbaugh. Taylor, disaster on turn 4 for Jake Taylor. Not sure if he clipped the marker with his skates or what happened, but it is Hunter Wright who gets the win. Christian Allenbaugh coming in less than a tenth of a second behind, and another 15 100ths back is Taylor. So tough break. Taylor led the majority of the race, ends up finishing in third with the 151.9, and Allenbaugh with the 151.74. So both of those times much faster than second and third place from heat number 1 as we take a look at those final times. And here's the replay. Get a second look at what happened there to Jake Taylor. They've switched from the three-dimensional small cones to a flat marker, and I still think that even that marker might have been just enough to clip the edge of the wheel of Jake Taylor and cause the bobble that opened the door for Allenbaugh and Wright. So we've got a quick warm-up for our older competitors here. The 30 and above men's rookie challenge 1,000 meter qualifying heats coming up next on rollerplanet.net. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back into the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena, the premier roller sports venue in the western United States. Coming to you live around the world on Roller Planet. It's the last of our long distance qualifying heats in the 2022 Roller Speed Skating American Championships Rookie Challenge. It's our 30 and above men's division. 2 heats. Heat number 1 on the line. Number 92, Scott Poindexter on the inside there from Smoky Mountain. Jared Pierce from Star Skate Speed next to him. And then you've got 3 stallions, Neil Podol, Richard Largy, and Joby Siciliano, rounding out heat number 1. So a trio of hometown stallions racers going up against Poindexter and Pierce in heat number 1. And you see there Poindexter working on something there with the skate. Officials getting all of the next few heats put in the staging area off the track. Now here we go. And off the line, it's Pierce. Pierce in front, followed by Poindexter. Pierce, then Poindexter, then Podol. And the first lap down, things stay that way. So a nice start by Jared Pierce. He's in the lead. Scott Poindexter running second behind him. And staying in contact with those leaders, Neil Podol for the Stallions. We are nearing the halfway point now, and it is still Pierce, Poindexter, and Podol. Leading the way. There's been no change through 6 laps. And now you see Podol starting to fall off the pace there. Oh, but just as I say it, he actually makes a move. Contact with Pierce, but Poindexter with the big move here. 3 laps to go. Scott Poindexter asserting himself, taking charge of this one. He put the hammer down on Pierce and Podol, and they could not answer the move. So Scott Poindexter cruising well on his way to the win as he takes the bell. Now just half a lap to go. Poindexter up easy. Just needs to avoid a mistake. He does so, and Scott Poindexter coming across the line for the win. Pierce hanging on for second, putting up a 1:55. So a nice time for Pierce, and Podol coming in under 2 minutes as well. 1 minute 56 and change for him. So those 2 gentlemen look to be in decent shape to make the final. As we take a look at the scoreboard, as the last couple of stallions, Siciliano and Largy, rounding out the field for heat number 1. So that one's in the books. Now we'll take a look at heat number 2. Coming to the line is Tyler Linscott of Team United, Ryan Hughes from Kentucky Speed, Gary Cedillo for the Stallions, Perry Allen from Smoky Mountain, Brian Butler from Phantom Racing, and Clyde Mays for Bell's Speed Club. Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of that Bell's Speed Club. They've been a fixture here over the years at the American Championships. And a good start, and from the outside, Hughes gets out near the front, but he can't get around Linscott, tries to do so now, and there he goes. Ryan Hughes, aggressive skating here on lap number 1. He gets out in front of Linscott, so it's Hughes and Linscott running 1 and 2, and they are putting distance between themselves and the third place stallion skater Cedillo. The race is on between Linscott and Hughes as Linscott retakes the lead. Hughes appears content to let him have it, so Linscott and Hughes running 1-2. Linscott leading the way as they are sailing past the rest of the field here. Cedillo still running a distant third, about a quarter of a lap back from these two gentlemen here. And Linscott seems to be pushing the pace as we're just past the halfway point. Ryan Hughes going to have to match him step for step. Not sure if Hughes is going to have enough. Running out of real estate is Ryan Hughes. Linscott is not really increasing the lead much. Now he starts to. Hadn't been for the previous 3 or 4 laps, was just holding steady, but now Linscott finding yet another gear and gets the separation he's been looking for. There's the bell for Linscott. So Tyler Linscott running into some trouble there with the slower competitors. That was Perry Allen, unable to get out of the way, but Linscott comes through for the easy win. Tyler Linscott is moving on to the finals. Ryan Hughes about 3 seconds back, still faster than the skaters in heat number 1. He's going to be through easily. And Gary Cedillo has a 1:57 as we take a look at the board. So Cedillo's time puts him right on the bubble. We will see if he is going to qualify through. But that does it for our long qualifying heats, as the last couple of skaters here in our 30 and over heat number 2 finish up their race. As Tyler Linscott putting up an excellent time, 1:47.897. So we are going to we're going to move right along to our short distance heat. So the full on sprint is coming up next. The short heats. First off, we've got qualifying heats. We have enough 10 to 13-year-old girls in our rookie challenge that they're actually going to run qualifying heats, then some semifinals before we're able to determine exactly who is going to contest the final later this afternoon. So 4 heats here. The top 2 places from each heat move on. And as these 10 to 13-year-old girls take a couple of laps to get the legs loosened up, we'll run down the heat lineups for you. Heat number 1 features Crystal Ross of Tennessee Speed, December Nanaito from Star Skate Speed, Penelope Viviano from Texas Speed Club, Seneca Skogrand from the Rollerdrome Rampage, and Lainey Stevens of Team United. Heat number 2 sees Grace Meyer of the Wolverines take on Isabel Deal of the Texas Speed Club. Her teammate, Diana Ganasan Rajaram, Alexis Turlo from Team Illini, and Zoe Chesney representing the Owasso Flyers. That leads us to heat number 3. Clover Fazzini, Veyana Quijano, Mia Campbell, Kalina Elliott rounds out heat number 3 for the Stallions. And heat number 4 is Ava Butler of Phantom Racing, Alexis Offner of Texas Speed, Aubriana Kirk from Team Illini, Cami Wilton from Texas Speed Club, Kyla Lawson from Anderson Speed, and Kai Reed for the Stallions. So we're going to let these young ladies finish getting the wheels loose, the legs warmed up, and we will bring you those qualifying heats in just a moment here on RollerPlanet.com. All right, and welcome back. Heat number 1, ready to go at the starting line. We've already told you who is there, but a quick reminder, it's Crystal Ross, December Nanaito, Penelope Viviano, Seneca Skogrand, and Lainey Stevens. So pure racing here in the short distance. 3 laps for this age group, and the top 2 go through. Winning you're in, second as well. Relying on time, hoping the other heats are slower, nothing like that. You got to get first or second if you want to move on to, in this case, the semifinals. And in the other divisions, it is the finals that are at stake. But a big group of rookies here in our 10 to 13-year-old girls division. So some extra racing coming at you. The 10 to 13-year-old girls rookie 300-meter record is 32 seconds in .655. That is a record held by Minley Crawford. She set that just 1 year ago. So Crystal Ross, of course, has already set 1 meet record in the time trial with her 11.475 qualifying time. So last minute adjustments going on down there between the head official and our timekeeper. That is Robert Penrod, co-competition manager along with Lisa Dunham. They've been working at this event since its inception. Always put on an excellent event here in June. These championships spread out throughout the week. We got inline, we got quads, we got individuals, we've got relays, and of course it all leads up to the main event Saturday night, the Xfinity Race of Champions, the top 15 men and women competing for the grand prize of $10,000 Saturday night. Be sure to join us for that. But right now, we have got skaters on the course, and right off the line goes Crystal Ross. Ross showing that speed. We saw it in the distance race, but there's a little bit more pacing involved there. She is flying around this track now. Crystal Ross, in just a couple of laps, has built a massive lead over December Nanaito, and Crystal Ross is cruising through to the final. No doubt about this one here. Crystal Ross taking the checkered flag. Nanaito coming in second, so they are both in. And so 32.649 is just fast enough for Crystal Ross to set her second American Championships record here in the qualifying heats. Crystal Ross getting it done. Well done there. You see it on the scoreboard. Ross and Nanaito running 1-2. Nanaito just over 2 seconds back of the American Championships record-setting pace of Crystal Ross. As we head back to the starting line for heat number 2, Grace Meyer, Isabel Deal, Diana Ganasan Rajaram, Alexis Turlo, and Zoe Chesney. And it's Meyer who gets off the line first, followed by Rajaram. Meyer, then Rajaram. Running 1 and 2. Meyer taking a page out of Ross's book, building a big lead there on lap number 1. Not quite as big of a gap as Ross had, but a sizable lead over its Isabel Deal now in second. So Grace Meyer in control of this one as she heads to the checker flag. Easy win for Meyer, and then Deal finishes second after trailing Rajaram until about the middle of lap 2. So our qualifications holding to form here through our first 2 races as you take a look at the scoreboard and see Meyer's time of 33.5, Deal coming in at 35.1, and Rajaram coming in just under 36 seconds, but of course only the top 2 advance in this distance. So Diana, Rajaram on the outside looking in with a 3rd place finish there. Heat number 3 now at the line for us. Clover Fazzini, Viana Quijano. If things continue to hold form, they would be the 2 we would look to advance. Avery Freeman, Mia Campbell, and Kalina Elliott looking to shake things up in heat number 3, and that's going to be Quijano with the false start. Viana Quijano in the middle of the starting line, drew the center position, and a little jumpy. And it's easy to understand why. A 3-lap race, the start is everything. Not a whole lot of time to recover, but you have to wait for the gun to sound. Second start is clean, and quickly to the front goes Fazzini, followed by Quijano. So Fazzini and then Quijano. Freeman running in 3rd. Now Quijano, a little bit of a stumble there, was trying to make the inside move, lost her footing and couldn't make it, but she is in a comfortable spot running 2nd behind Fazzini. Fazzini and Quijano take the bell right together, and a good finish shaping up here in this one. Fazzini, Quijano right behind. Final turn, Quijano gonna try to sneak past, and she's not quite gonna make it, but those 2 giving us an excellent race as we take a look at just how close that one was. 0.07 of a second as Quijano not quite able to catch Fazzini right at the end. So well done by those 2 ladies. They are moving on. And we move on now to heat number 4. This one, again, going to feature Ava Butler, Alexis Offner, our top 2. Top 2 qualifiers have advanced in every heat so far. Aubriana Kirk, Cammie Wilton, both put in the exact same time trial time, so they're looking to get involved. Kyla Lawson and Kai Reed rounding things out, and a false start. Looked like that one might have been on Kirk, but we will get the official word here momentarily. Hard. And we'll try it again. And a clean start this time. And out in front is Butler and Offner. So once again, our top qualifiers to the early lead. Cammie Wilton was right there, but she just stumbled coming around the turn, and it is Butler and Offner leading the way. Butler, then Offner. No challenge here to either of them as Butler gets the win. Offner easily through with 2nd place. So top qualifiers getting it done in our 10 to 13-year-old. All right, so as we move on, it is our 6 to 9-year-old girls. Looks like Heat 1 coming to the line. And we're now hearing in the stadium that the 6 to 9-year-old boys and girls are going to get a warm-up. So we will take the opportunity to give you a break. More exciting short distance racing qualifying heats in the Rookie Challenge coming at you next. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you took advantage of that brief break to grab yourself a frosty beverage or a snack here, because we have got more exciting racing coming at you. Up next, it's our 6 to 9-year-old girls 300-meter Rookie Challenge qualifying heats. Heat number 1 on the line now. Janaea Washington, Addison Hill, Zoe Rivera, Anastasia Chesney, and Kimberlyn Scott going to contest heat number 1. 3 laps. Once again, it is the top 2 from each heat who move on in our 6 to 9-year-old girls. That means to the finals later this afternoon. Our 10 to 13-year-old girls, the only division big enough for a qualifying heat and then leading to a semi-final round. So here we go on the line, heat number 1. And false start once again coming from the middle. This is Janaea Washington. So Janaea Washington from the Stallions, the top qualifier, a bit too eager to get off the line there, and she gets the yellow card for the false start. So we will try this again. And a clean start this time, and Washington off the line first once again, followed by Rivera. So Washington, then Rivera. Addison Hill up there as well. So 3 skaters racing for 2 spots. Washington looks like she is in control up at the front, but Rivera trying to stamp her ticket to the final. Here's the bell, 1 lap left for Washington and Rivera. Hill running out of real estate, the Tennessee Speed Racer. Doesn't look like she's going to have enough to grab second, so it is Washington and Rivera. So a pair of stallions. Leading the way, they cross the line first and second as we take a look at those times. 39.5 for Washington. Rivera in just a hair over 40 seconds. And Addison Hill not quite a second out of the running to advance. So Washington and Rivera moving on. So 2 stallions in to the final as we see it looks like it is Anastasia Chesney from the Owasso Flyers finishing up. She had a fall somewhere along the way, but getting right back up and finishing the race was Ms. Chesney. Well done there. And now heat number 2 going to move to the line. Heat number 2 going to feature Savannah Hubbard, Isabella Gaddy, Leah Hoagland, Alexandria Chesney, and Coraline Largy. Hubbard and Gaddy, the top qualifiers, and we've seen the 2 of them finish 1 and 2 in the long heat 2 qualifying race. So Gaddy likes to get the fast start. She definitely would have won if the long race had been this shorter contest. So we will see if she's able to do that again, or if Hubbard is able to get off the line quicker and contest first place here. But first off the line is actually Hoagland, Leah Hoagland for the Stallions with the best start of the group. But now you see there goes Hubbard and Gaddy. So Hubbard not messing around here in the short race. She knows she's got to get first or second to advance, and taking charge on lap number 2. Hubbard in front, Gaddy behind. The 2 of them skating away from the field as there's the bell for Hubbard. Hubbard followed by Gaddy. Savannah Hubbard and Isabella Gaddy are gonna move into the final. And there you see Hubbard get the win. Gaddy right behind her. So top fires are going to advance here in heat 2 of the girls' 300-meter race as we take a look at the scoreboard. So Hubbard and Gaddy coming in 41.1 and 42 flat, so very comparable times to what our qualifiers, all very close together. So a very exciting 6 to 9-year-old girls 300-meter rookie challenge final shaping up for later on this afternoon. Now we move on to our 6 to 9-year-old boys. Heat 1 at the line, Mendoza, Glover, Stevens, Ferris, and Vigil. And Jace Mendoza is at it again. We have seen him already once today with a dominating performance as he explodes off the line, and within the first lap has built a 2 to 3 second lead over his nearest competitor, Joseph Stevens. Stevens and Clayton Glover racing for that second spot. Jace Mendoza has got first place wrapped up here. 3 laps are already over for Mendoza. A blistering race from him. And a diving finish across the way. Glover trying to get by Stevens at the last second, and we'll see if he did so. Let's go to the board for the official results. And you can see Mendoza 32.08 easily getting the win, and Stevens hanging on as he beats Glover by about 15/100ths of a second. And that is an easy American Championships record for Jace Mendoza, besting the previous mark held by Wesley Jones by over 2 seconds. So a very good race by Mendoza as heat number 2 at the line now. Heat number 2 going to feature Luca DeFalco, Lucas Teague, Owen Booth, Darren McDonald, and Lex Culver. And first off the line is DeFalco, followed by Teague. So the top 2 skaters who qualified for heat number 2 out in front. Booth running a distant third. It's a race between DeFalco and Teague. They both look good to advance unless one of them goes down here. Final lap, DeFalco and Teague. It's a matter of pride, though, to get the win, and there goes Lucas Teague. Teague with a nifty move. He's got the lead there on the final lap. Lucas Teague takes the checkered flag, so Teague gets the win in heat number 2. DeFalco right behind him. As they go 1-2, you can see on the board the final times for our qualifiers. 35.444 for Teague, and DeFalco right there as well, 35.807. So next on the schedule is our 10 to 13-year-old girls semifinals. So you saw the qualifiers, the semifinals slated to come up next. They are still checking in down on the south end of the arena. So we are going to step aside and we will bring you the 10 to 13-year-old girls 300-meter rookie challenge semifinals in just a moment on rollerplanet.net. And welcome back, folks. Back inside the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena for the 2022 Roller Speed Skating American Championships, brought to you by Xfinity. Moving right along with our Rookie Challenge program here today, we got our semifinals in our 10 to 13-year-old girls 300-meter race. Heat number 1, Crystal Ross, Ava Butler, December Nanaito, and Alexis Offner. So Ross was the winner of Heat 1, Butler the winner of Heat 4, Heat 4. Then Nanaito finished second in Heat 1, and Offner second in Heat 4. So that is the path that these skaters took to semifinal number 1 here. Hopefully you were with us and got to see it live around the world on rollerplanet.net. If you're just joining us, you've come at the right time. These semifinals looking to be very competitive, as the top 2 from each race are going to move on to the finals of the Rookie Challenge. All the Rookie Challenge final races will be brought to you on Roller Planet later on this afternoon. It looks like things are all ready at the starting line. Racers to the mark. And a clean start. And right off the line, it was Offner, but now Crystal Ross asserting herself. Second half of the first lap, Ross running away with this one yet again. Ross in control. Offner running in second. Right behind her is Butler. So Offner and Butler going to fight it out for that second qualifying spot. Ross in control as she heads for the checkered flag. Around the final corner goes Ross and Offner, Alexis Offner, after finishing second in her qualifying heat behind Butler, able to pick things up and finish in second here in the semifinal. As we take a look at the times, Ross turning in at 32.5, Offner in at 4.2. They are the 2 ladies who will advance to the final heat. And Crystal Ross looking unbeatable here through qualifying. So heat number 2, top finishers out of Grace Meyer, Clover Fazzini, Isabel Deal, and Veyana Quijano will be racing against Ross and Offner in that final. Meyer and Fazzini, the heat 2 and 3 winners respectively, Deal and Quijano finishing second in those heats as well as they go to the line. And another clean start as Grace Meyer gets off the line first. Meyer followed by Fazzini, then Quijano, Deal running in fourth at the moment. 2 laps to go. Meyer, Fazzini, Quijano. No change in position as there's the bell, and Grace Meyer looking very good. The race for second heating up. Quijano looking for room. Grace Meyer in control. And who's going to get second? And that is going to go right to the line. Looked like Fazzini from up here in the broadcast booth, but we will have to go to the board and see what the computer says. And indeed, 0.02 of a second for Clover Fazzini. She claims the 4th and final qualified spot into the championship round. So Ross, Offner, Meyer, and Fazzini will be in the 300-meter final later on this afternoon. And now our 10 to 13-year-old boys division, another 300-meter distance. David Tinsley, Christian Allenbaugh, Sawyer Smith, Parker Giles, and Nicholas Romneck That is the Heat 1 field. 3 heats here for the 10 to 13-year-old boys division. Tinsley is the top qualifier off of the time trials, and we've seen him control the long qualifying race already once today. And off the line, Sawyer Smith in the inside. Looked like he got a good jump, but Tinsley quickly erasing that small deficit, and now he is out in front. Smith and Alemba in a tight one, looking for the second qualifying spot. David Tinsley, another impressive performance from him. So Tinsley is going to and easily, and Alemba also got separation from Smith in the later stages of the race to finish in second. So as we take a look at those final times, Tinsley in with a 32.245. Alemba just about a little over a second and a half back, but he still qualifies through. Heat number 2. Now taking the floor, Hunter Wright, Colin Hill, Cooper Jackson, Elijah Tamayo, and Owen Bryant. So Wright from Texas Speed, Hill from Tennessee Speed, Jackson from Bell Speed Club, Tamayo and Bryant both for the Stallions. And Wright with an excellent start, and he is already well in front as he finishes up lap number 1 here. Quick look over the shoulder, sees he's in no danger. Colin Hill has spread out some room between the rest of the field for second, but also still well behind Wright. So Wright in front, Hill running behind him. Comes to the checker flag. Easy qualifying race for Wright. Colin Hill advancing well. Look at their final times. Wright in with a 32.23, Hill 35, just over 35 flat. So they are going to advance in. So the matchup between Hunter Wright and shaping up here could be an excellent and Jake Taylor, Gage Butler, and Brom Culver now at the line for heat number 3. 2 of these gentlemen are going to that as well. Today, giving us an exciting finish in the long qualifying heats. Taylor leading the way into the for having division, ending up finishing 3rd. We're going to look back to that, but off of the gun, Taylor running second, followed by Culver. Brom Culver trying to stay in contact with Taylor, but Ray takes the bell. Taylor in second, and the other 2 competitors took a tumble, and we are having the race blown dead. No joy called by the officials, as it is Gage Butler who went hard into the padding there on turn number 4. So Gage Butler getting some attention from race officials, and while they take care of him, we are going to take a short break. We'll be back for the rerun of heat number 3 in just a moment. coming off the floor under his own power. Very, very good to see. Hopefully he's able to take a moment and recover and contest his later races. And that's going to leave Taylor, Ray, and Culver. Just 3 skaters to re-race heat number 3, but it looks like that is going to be in a little bit. And before that, we are going to move on ahead and race our 30 and above men's sprint distance. The sprint distance for the 30 and above men is 500 meters. So they're going to warm up, and we're going to take another quick break. The 30 and above men's 500 meter rookie challenge qualifying races up next on Roller Planet. And welcome back, folks. Heat number 1, 30 and above men's 500 meter rookie challenge coming at you. Heat 1 featuring Scott Poindexter, Jared Pierce, Neil Podol, Richard Largy, and Joby Siciliano. So Poindexter from Smoky Mountain, Pierce from Star Skate Speed, Podol, Largy, and Siciliano all for Stallions. 5-lap sprint for the 30 and above division, and it's Poindexter quickly off the line after that clean start. Poindexter, Pierce, and Podol once again running 1, 2, 3. Poindexter starting to build a lead lap over lap. A couple of laps in on this one. Two laps gone. And Poindexter in control. Pierce running behind him. Again, the top 2 finishers in each qualifying heat move on to the final. And in this one, it looks like that is clearly going to be Poindexter and Pierce. Both of them 4 laps into this one and now coming around for the 5th. And there is the checkered flag for Scott Poindexter. So the Smoky Mountain speed skater from Maryville, Tennessee advances, and he will be joined in the final by Jared Pierce from Star Skate Speed, Midwest City, Oklahoma. As you take a look there at those final times, so Poindexter in under 53 seconds, just about half a second ahead of Pierce. Podol coming in well under a minute as well in third, but third does not get the job done here in the short races. Have to finish in the top two. And joining Poindexter and Pierce in the final of this event is going to be the top two finishers here from heat number 2. Linscott, Hughes, Cedillo, Allen, Butler, and Mays going to contest this one. We saw a nice finish between Linscott and Hughes in the long distance qualifying heat. Those two are likely to be our leaders once again, although I do think we just got Linscott for the false start. Certainly quick. Off the line was Linscott with the inside position. Let's see who the officials give the yellow card to. And you see her there speaking to Linscott. And there it is. So Tyler Linscott has to be careful now. Those false starts do accumulate as you progress through the rounds. So you don't want to grab too many here in qualifying and risk a disqualification in the finals. We will try to get this race going once again. Linscott, of course, skating for Team United out of Wichita, Kansas. Ryan Hughes with Kentucky Speed out of Lexington, Kentucky. And a clean start this time, and Linscott didn't need to false start here. He is out in front, followed by Hughes. So once again, it is Linscott and Hughes. Well in control. They are going to go 1-2, just a question of what order. Linscott still in the lead. Hughes giving chase halfway through this one. Linscott and Hughes still running 1 and 2, making quick work of the rest of the field. And the bell for Linscott. Hughes looked like he had a little bit of trouble on turn 4 there in that previous lap. He's given up the chase, knows he's going to qualify through easily. And so Tyler Linscott gets the win. Ryan Hughes in second. So Hughes is going to advance to the final. So it's going to be Poindexter, Pierce, Hughes, Cedillo. Excuse me, just Poindexter, Pierce, Linscott, and Hughes will be in the final of a 500-meter 30 and over men's rookie challenge. As we take a look at the final times for our leaders, still a couple of racers out there on the floor. Clyde Mays finishing things up for Bell's Speed Club. Mays still with a couple of laps, so he ran into some difficulty previously in the race. He's still out there finishing up, but you see Linscott coming in 52.2, Hughes in at 54, just under 54.1. They are your qualifiers, and now this is going to bring us back around to the heat 3 of the 10 to 13-year-old boys. And we saw Gage Culver unable to, he went down hard. Did see him skate off the floor under his own power, so that was great to see. And he is not at the starting line. So a scratch on Gage Butler, rather, excuse me. So Jake Taylor, Gianni Ray, and Bram Culver, 3 men skating for 2 positions, and that's going to be a false start on Ray. So Gianni Ray jumping early. So Ray gonna have to calm it down, calm the nerves, and get a clean start here on the second try. The skaters take their mark once again. And a clean start this time, and Taylor once again out in front. Ray right there, Culver there as well. The man from Cheyenne, Brom Culver, trying to hang with the leaders. Top 2 qualifiers in this heat are Taylor and Ray, and they are showing you why. Jake Taylor up in front, Gianni Ray settled in right behind him. Here they are, the final stretch, coming around that last turn. Taylor and Ray easily through, so it's going to be Taylor and Ray. They will join David Tinsley, Christian Allenbaugh, Hunter Wright, and Colin Hill in the final for the 10 to 13-year-old boys 300-meter rookie challenge race. We're going to take a break here at the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena. We have middle distance heats coming up after this. And welcome back. It's our 10 to 13-year-old girls. They are racing their middle distance for the 10 to 13-year-old age group. Middle distance is 5 laps. So we have 3 heats of 10 to 13-year-old girls. Heat number 1, consisting of, I believe this is going to be Crystal Ross, December Nanaito, Crystal Ross, Viana Quijano, Isabel Deal, Aubriana Kirk, Cami Wilton, Zoe Chesney, and Kalina Elliott. Contesting heat number 1, heat 2. Following right after this is going to be Grace Meyer, Alexis Offner, December Nanaito, Avery Freeman, Mia Campbell. And then the final heat of this division is going to be Clover Fazzini, Ava Butler, Penelope Pino, Hassan Rajaram, Alexis Turlow, Seneca Skogrand, and Kai Reed. And we have just received an announcement that Heat 3 is actually going to be run second, but before we can get to that, we got to get finished with Heat number 1, the middle distance race in each age group. Qualifying heat winner will advance, as well as the next typically 3 top times. So if it's true to form, could be 1 and 2 from each heat, but also if one heat is exceptionally fast, 3 or even 4 skaters from that heat could get into the final. But off the line here, it's Quijano. So Quijano running in front of Ross, at least for the better part of the first lap. Crystal Ross, enough of not being in front for her. She has now done what we've seen her do twice already this morning and take a commanding lead through the middle portion of the race. So Crystal Ross in control, and Quijano now in a bit of trouble. Isabel Deal involved in the race. In fact, Deal has taken over second, but Crystal Ross in complete control at the bell. So Crystal Ross going to get the easy win once again. Crystal Ross showing no weakness, long, short, and middle distance. Crystal Ross wins them all. So an automatic qualification for Ross, and we take a look at the times of the rest of the finishers. Deal came in with a 58.073, and Aubriana Kirk actually coming in just under a minute, 59.88. So Viana Quijano probably on the outside looking in with her minute and change time, but it is possible that she could slide in to the final. We'll have to see how it goes with these other 2 races. And we had been told that Heat 3 is going to run before Heat 2, but these are the Heat 2 racers that are out there at the line. So Grace Meyer, Alexis Offner, December Nanaito, Avery Freeman, Mia Campbell, Lainey Stevens, and Kyla Lawson. And now they do shuffle out, and Heat 3 does come to the line, led by Clover Fazzini and Ava Butler, Penelope Viviano, Diana Rajaram, Alexis Turlow, Seneca Skogrand, and Kai Reed here in heat number 3. It's actually number 2. So the winner goes on, and we'll have to compare everyone else's time to the times we've already seen put up specifically by Isabel Deal and Aubriana Kirk. They're in the opening heat of this division. 5 laps for these 7 skaters. And quickly off the line, it is Fazzini. Fazzini followed by Rajaram. And then Viviano. So Butler in 4th right now. So another slow start for Ava Butler. She's going to have some work to do. But Clover Fazzini out in front. Fazzini, then Rajaram, then Viviano. Running 1, 2, 3. Butler in 4th. So we've got a race now for 1st and 2nd as Fazzini and Rajaram have split away from Viviano and Butler. And Rajaram looking to make the move on the outside. Is she going to have room? Not quite. A little contact. If you're not rubbing, you're not racing. And Rajaram and Fazzini going to come down to the wire here. Both of these skaters going hard to try to get the automatic qualification by winning the heat, and it's Fazzini who does hold on. We'll have to see about Rajaram's time as we look to the board, and Diana Rajaram in a 57.473, so that is definitely going to be good enough. And Ava Butler turned it on late to come in just under a minute, 59.533 for her. So Quijano is out, and Kirk also appears to be out from these results that we're seeing, as it's Butler now holding the next 3rd fastest time. So Viviano looks very good to get in with the fastest non-winning time so far. Isabel Deal from Heat 1 also looking good, and Ava Butler turning it on late to charge forward. She's qualified for now, but she's definitely on the bubble, as Grace Meyer, Alexis Offner, December Nanaito, Avery Freeman, Mia Campbell, Lainey Stevens, and Kyla Lawson take the floor. So we've seen Meyer and Offner go very fast in previous races. Nanaito also capable of having a say in who moves on to the final. So we will have to see how all those times shake out. Ava Butler nervously sitting on the bubble. Definitely have to skate under a minute to get into the final here in this 5-lap race. All right, clean start on the first try, and out in front goes Meyer. Meyer pursued by Offner. It's Meyer, then Offner. December Nanaito right there as well, and she is trailed by Avery Freeman. But Grace Meyer, once again in control of a race. Alexis Offner running in 2nd. It's all going to come down to time for Offner, Nanaito, and Freeman, as Meyer does not show any signs of letting them back in. Now Nanaito tried to get around Offner, but it is Grace Meyer who is headed to the bell, so she is up clean and easy through to the final, barring an unforeseen disaster here on the final turn. Grace Meyer has got the automatic bid into the final for winning the heat. Offner and Nanaito, we'll have to take a look at their times. And indeed, Offner coming in with a 57.4. She is going to go through. Nanaito, 57.6, is also going to go through. And Penelope Viviano's 57.47 holds up. So in order to qualify for the final in the 10 to 13-year-old girls 500-meter race, you had to skate it in under 58 seconds. So that is a fast field. We are going to see them a little bit later. We're going to take a short break here now, and when we come back, It's going to be our 6 to 9-year-old girls and boys middle distance qualifying heats in the Rookie Challenge. All of that next on Roller Planet. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we have moved on to our 6 to 9-year-old girls qualifying heats in the Rookie Challenge, a 500-meter race. You see there from right to left on your screen, Janiyah Washington, Addison Hill, Zoe Rivera. Excuse me, that was Zoe Rivera on the inside, Addison Hill, Janiyah Washington in the middle, Kimberlyn Scott and Anastasia Chesney on the outside lane. So those 5 ladies contesting this one. And once again, it's the winner of the heat plus the next top times that move on. And we're going to have a false start. And Anastasia Chesney acting guilty. Didn't really see it jump out at me, but she does receive the yellow card, so Chesney picks up the false start. And we will try to get this one going here on our second attempt. Heat number 1 and our 6 to 9-year-old girls on the line. And a clean start this time, and it's Washington out in front. Washington followed by Rivera, the Stallions' teammates. Quick off the line, Addison Hill there as well, running in third. But the Stallions now stampeding away with this one. Washington and Rivera running 1 and 2 as we near the midway point of this 5-lap contest. Washington now stretching things out on her teammate. She wants that automatic qualified spot for winning the heat. 2 laps to go for Washington. You see there, Washington Rivera. There was Hill just in the screen, trying to hang tight, put up a good time, maybe sneak into the final. And Rivera on lap number 4 closed it down. So Washington and Rivera right together here for the final circuit. And Washington and Rivera trying to find room on the inside. A little contact between stallions, but Washington holding on. So she is going to qualify through to the final as we take a look at our scoreboard there. So Rivera coming in with the 107, and Addison Hill 109.159 might be good enough for a 6-person final. And you see there Kimberlyn Scott finishing off her race. So up next is going to be heat number 2. As they come onto the floor, there's Leah Hoagland, Alexandria Chesney, Isabella Gaddy, Coraline Largy, and Savannah Hubbard out there as well. Hubbard and Gaddy have given us a couple of great contests here during qualifying. And we look forward to another one here. The middle distances. Of course, in the long race, Gaddy got out to the good start. Hubbard waited until late to take the lead. Then in the short race, Hubbard was quick off the line for the win, and Gaddy came through and finished second. So, as the racers take their mark, and once again, off the line, it is Hubbard and Gaddy. They've been going at it all day long, and this is no exception here in the middle race. Hubbard out in front, Gaddy getting some push from Hoagland in third there. So that is Leah Hoagland for the Stallions, looking to post a fast time and qualify through. Hubbard still in first. So she's going to cruise to the victory here. Gaddy running in second once again, and Hoagland now falling off of Gaddy's pace, but it is that woman there, Savannah Hubbard, in control of this one. She's got 1 lap left to go after she crosses the line. Here's the bell. So Savannah Hubbard once again going to get the win, and Washington and Hubbard look set to give us quite a few fantastic finishes in the finals. And there you see the checkered flag for Savannah Hubbard, bringing home the qualifying heat win for Smoky Mountain. So Savannah Hubbard is in for sure. And let's go to the board to see if anyone from her heat is going to join her. And it does look like Gaddy is going to get in. Leah Hoagland with the next fastest time with the 1:13. So heat number 2 considerably slower than heat 1. So we will have to see if Hoagland is able to get in. Of course, Rivera and Hill running 107 and 109 respectively in second and third in heat number 1. So 111 and 113 for Gaddy and Hoagland, well off of that pace. But we will await the official announcement of the finalists and move right along to our 6 to 9-year-old boys. Heat number 1 featuring the very impressive Jace Mendoza on the inside. Clayton Glover, Joseph Stevens, Ryan Ferris, and Isaiah Vigil rounding things out. False start on the first try. It looked like it was Clayton Glover. You see him there. He knows it. So Glover picks up the false start. Need every possible second you can find when you are up against Jace Mendoza, the very fast youngster out of Canton, Michigan. Has absolutely demolished the competition in the preceding distances that we've seen on qualifying heats. Expect him to do so once again. So Glover trying to get a good start, see if he can keep up. And once again, it is Mendoza starting on the inside and quickly skating away from the rest of the field. Jace Mendoza, very impressive here in the Rookie Challenge qualifying races, as he is almost a full half lap ahead after just 2 of these 5 laps. In complete control is Jace Mendoza as he goes around V Hill. So Mendoza also overtaking Ryan Ferris there. So Jace Mendoza at the bell, another dominating performance from him. And 6 to 9-year-old heat #1 winner, Jace Mendoza. There goes Ferris, he's got another lap to go, and you can see just how far in front Mendoza was, as there goes Glover and Stevens. So Glover and Stevens second and third, and almost a full lap back of that man there, Jace Mendoza, as we take a look at what their times were. So Mendoza in at 53.881. Glover coming in at 1:03.39. And Stevens posting a 1:04.994. So they both will look to qualify through on time. And in heat #2, you see him there at the starting line. You've got Luca DeFalco wearing number 98. Lucas Teague wearing number 87. So they're in slots 2 and 3. Darren McDonald has the inside lane. Owen Booth for the Stallions in lane 4, and out on the outside is Lex Culver from Front Range Racing. It's been DeFalco and Teague so far today, and we expect to see another tight contest between the two of them. DeFalco often gets the lead early, but Teague has shown us his ability to close the race, and you see there is Culver, Lex Culver, suspected of the false start. And indeed, there is the official presentation of the yellow card. So Culver, a little too quick off the line as we get set to restart. Clean start this time, and again, it is DeFalco and Teague, pursued by Booth. So DeFalco got off the line first. Teague, that's a earlier move than we've seen from him in the previous races, but Teague out in front now. Teague, then DeFalco, and you can see how far from the rest of the pack they have gone already in just 2 laps of this 5-lap race. And now Teague himself starting to get some separation on DeFalco. So Luca DeFalco falling off the pace behind Lucas Teague. So the Smoky Mountain skater looks like he is going to easily get the automatic qualifier by winning heat #2. DeFalco running in second. But Lucas Teague, once again, so he led this one almost wire to wire. DeFalco slightly better start, but Teague took the lead on turn 4 of lap 1 and never looked back as we take a look at the times posted by these racers. So DeFalco coming in at just over 1 minute flat. He's going to qualify on time for sure. Darren McDonald coming in third with a 1:06. That might be good enough. And then Owen Booth probably on the outside looking in with his 1:08.59. So now we move on to our 10 to 13-year-old boys. 2 heats here in our 10 to 13-year-old boys 500-meter qualifier. Heat #1 on the line right there in front of you. David Tinsley, Gianni Ray, Colin Hill, Cooper Jackson, Looks like Gage Butler is back out on the racetrack for some action. Good to see that after he took the hard fall in turn 4 of his 300-meter qualifier. Parker Giles out there for the Stallions, and Nicholas Romnek rounding things out for Badger State Racing. So we've seen a lot of good work from Tinsley, the Tennessee speed skater there in the middle. And a false start. I think that was on either Ray, maybe Hill. I mean, Tinsley had a fast start, but I think his was clean. We'll have to see exactly who jumped. And indeed, it is Cooper Jackson who gets the yellow card. So Cooper Jackson with the false start right next to tall, fast David Tinsley. Jackson trying to get any advantage he can, and once again it is Tinsley out in front early. Tinsley quickly to the lead. Gianni Ray behind him. Colin Hill running in third. Tinsley out in front. Gianni Ray trying to keep pace. 2 laps down. Ray hanging in there. If Ray can use Tinsley as motivation to keep his wheels turning, it could help him put up a very fast time and ensure him a spot in the final, even if he can't pass the Tennessee speed racer you see there at the bell lap. Tinsley has really opened things up on Ray and the rest of the field, so David Tinsley cruises to the win, and you see there's Jackson running into some grief as he crossed the line. He's still got a lap or 2 left. See him head on out to finish the drill. Most of these skaters, when they fall, absolutely get up and try to finish up as soon as they can, as David Tinsley certainly did not run into any trouble in this one. The easy win for him, and we take a look at everyone else. So actually Jackson was finishing up. I'm not sure that's right. I think Jackson may have double triggered it when he fell down, but everyone else their times were accurate. And heat number 2 is on the line now. Hunter Wright, Jake Taylor, Christian Allenbaugh, Sawyer Smith, Brom Culver, Elijah Tamayo, and Owen Bryant. And looks like it's going to be Jake Taylor who false started. And there's the yellow card for Taylor on the inside. So Taylor and Wright have been top skaters out of this group so far today. And Taylor is a little bit excited to get this one started. Allenbaugh has also qualified through in a couple of distances so far. And out in front it is Wright. So Wright with a great start here in this middle distance race. Hunter Wright of Texas Speed Club out in front. Jake Taylor following behind, with Allenbaugh closely behind Taylor, but Wright asserting himself. Here in the early going of this one. And Wright got a great start off the line, and now here he is to the bell, and he has never been challenged. So Hunter Wright looking very good here in heat number 2 as he comes through for the checkered flag right there. Owen Bryant, you also saw in the picture, and Jake Taylor coming in second ahead of Allenbaugh. Let's take a look at some of those times. As you see, there's Hunter Wright still slowing down. Takes a while to get the momentum out of those wheels, so very fast heat here. Taylor with the 54 looks very good. Allenbaugh's 55 looks good as well. Brom Culver's 58 might sneak him in, but Smith, Bryant, and Tamayo all look like they are going to be eliminated here during the heats in our 10 to 13-year-old boys 500-meter competition. And we are going to take a short break as our 30 and above men get set to contest 2 heats, 700 meters. That's coming up next on Roller Planet. And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena, the 2022 Roller Speed Skating American Championships, sponsored by Xfinity, continue. It's our rookie challenge. Qualifying heats, the last couple of qualifying heats here. And it's our 30 and above men's 700-meter race. Heat number 1 already there on the line. That's Scott Poindexter, Jared Pierce, Neil Podol, Richard Largy, and Joby Siciliano. So 3 stallions, Smoky Mountain skater, and a skater from Star Skate Speed here in heat number 1. It's been Poindexter and Pierce all day long. Podol consistently has been running in 3rd, but has always fallen off in the later stages of the race. Poindexter gotten the win in each of these. previous meetings of this group. So we will see if that trend continues here in the 700. Winner is through to the final, and then the next best 4 qualifying times will also make it to the final race. And no surprise here, Poindexter out in front. There's Pierce and Podol running close together in 2 and 3. And just a couple laps in, Poindexter once again in control. Jared Pierce trying to put a little bit of a charge here and make some contact with Poindexter, but I'm not sure he's going to have enough. Poindexter over halfway through this one. He is making quick work of the rest of the field. Pierce has given up the chase at this point. So Poindexter heading for the bell. And Poindexter overtaking Richard Largy. So an easy win for Scott Poindexter. As there he comes across the line. Largy's got another lap to go. There's Pierce. So Poindexter, then Pierce. And that was Podol. And we take a look at what those times were posted by Pierce and Podol as Poindexter continuing to cruise around, read off some of that momentum. So you see there Pierce coming in with a 1:18, 1:89, and Podol with 1:29.99, and Largy in with the 1:30.514. So Pierce and Podol, I think, are in pretty good shape in terms of getting in to the final. Largy might sneak in there, depends on how things go here. This Heat 2 has given us a couple of great matchups between Linscott and Ryan Hughes. So Tyler Linscott and Ryan Hughes, you expect one of those gentlemen to win the heat, the other one to put up a fast time and qualify. And Gary Cedillo out there in the Stallions jersey has consistently been third, so his time will certainly come into play when figuring out the final qualifiers in this division. And a false start called. The last qualifying race of the day. After this, we'll take a bit of a time out. Finals races are scheduled to begin at 2:30 Mountain Time. So after this, that would put us with about just under, probably about 15 minutes from the end of this race. As you see Perry Allen out there catching the false start. So we will resume this one. Clean start this time. And again, it's Ryan Hughes, Tyler Linscott out in front, 1 and 2. Cedillo running third. Perry Allen now running third, but it is Linscott who is out in front. There you see the gap he has over Hughes. So Linscott and Hughes once again running 1 and 2. Tyler Linscott has controlled this group in all the heat races, with Hughes giving him a good run in the short and long, but not quite as close here in the middle distance, as Linscott, with 3 laps to go, has a sizable lead. You see it there. So Hughes seems to be skating like he knows that his time is going to be plenty good to qualify him. Does not feel any kind of pressure to mount a late charge against that man there, Tyler Linscott, as he's at the bell. So a final circuit for Linscott, and barring disaster, he will be our Heat 2 winner and get the automatic qualifying bid. You can see a couple of other skaters there, and then Hughes coming in. And here's Perry Allen and Gary Cedillo. So their time is going to come into play here for the final qualifying, as we get hopefully a chance to take a look at that soon, as Linscott slowing down. And there are those times. So Hughes in with a 1:16, so that's definitely the best time other than the winners. Perry Allen coming in at 1:21. And Gary Cedillo with 1:23. So that, believe, will make it Hughes in at 1:16, Pierce from Heat 1 in at 1:18, Podol in at 1:20, Perry Allen in with 1:21, and Gary Cedillo's 1:23 going to be the first man out of final qualification. So that is going to do it for the qualifying heats here in the Rookie Challenge of the 2022 Roller Speed Skating American Championships. The finals of all the divisions, all the distances for the Rookie Challenge coming up in just about 15 minutes. Approximate starting time is 2:30 p.m. for the finals here on Roller Planet. We'll see you then.